Today I'm going to take you on a tour of emails. So I'm going to show you how to create emails. I'm going to show you what you can do with emails, give you a bit of a heads up as to what should go where, and what are some of the tips and tricks to make sure that your emails are going to be top-notch. Because of course, most communication from course sales to the customer or to trainers or whoever is going to be via email. You can optionally include the settings to enable SMS messages. Okay, so you can send out SMS messages to your students and to your trainers, etc. And that actually uses email as well. So in fact, the email functionality that you use now is going to be perfectly fine for using it if you do want to send out SMS messages. And the SMS messages can get sent out by creating an email, basically doing a few other configurations, which I'll show you shortly, and then being able to send those out to the necessary people to receive them. So all pretty much the same thing. Okay, so let's see, sending communications to customers, emails. Let's get to the next slide. Okay, I'm going to show you how to create a new email. I'm going to show you what an email is made up of. And how to edit your emails. We're going to talk about how to use fields in email. So these are field variables, just like a mail merge, for example. I'm also going to show you how to link files. So you might want to attach a file to an email, and how to link PDFs to an email as well. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Creating a new email. So as you can see up here, I'll get my annotation functions out so I can sort of show you what I'm looking at. Annotate. Okay, so here's the spotlight. Hopefully you're going to be able to see this. Look at the little red sort of glow. So up here we've got to get to emails, you go into publish, and then emails are part of content. Okay, so to create an email, you can click on new. To get the list of emails, you click on content, and you can choose the email that you might want to edit. The content type, of course, is going to be email, and you can enter the name and the label. These aren't really used much within the sending the email, so you don't use this in the title or anything. These are used as a reference for you to know what your email is about. You can use the label and name if you want to actually incorporate them into emails. See, ironically, incorporate the label into emails, which can be pretty handy, because then you can keep a reference of which email has been sent to the customer by its name or its label. We've got two fields. We've got the subject field here, and we've got the email body field. So these are HTML editable fields, and when you're clicking on either of those, you're editing the email subject or the email body. Be aware the email subject can't have HTML in it, so don't try and make the text bold or include links in the email subject. Unless you actually are planning on having that email sent as an SMS message, then the link might be appropriate because it would appear in the SMS message to the customer. So generally just keep plain text in there. You can have variables, so you can have these field variables, which I'm going to talk about shortly. And you can get to them with this button here, which has the button that brings up a little widget to choose the fields, or you can choose fields over here on the right-hand side. And then finally down the bottom here, you won't get this add forms button when you're editing an email, but you will have add file categories or add PDF. So the file categories means that we may want to attach a file to the email when we send it to the student. And then the add PDFs is about maybe sending an email with an attachment of a PDF, such as a statement of attainment, such as a certificate or an invoice, anything really that you want to create using the PDF generator. Okay, so this is the editor window. Now I've got just an animated GIF here. It's going to go through showing you the different items that you can get in the editor. So the editor is available for you to create your emails, and you also use this when you're creating PDFs. And you've got lots of different functions, such as including images. Now just keep in mind the images have to be maintained somewhere, either within course sales by uploading them as a file, or on your website, wherever you keep those images. You just get the URL, the link to that image, and include it. But you can do tables, and you can look at the source code as well, which enables you to then make modifications to the background HTML. If you're particularly an HTML guru, then that can be pretty useful. being able to make those sort of high-level changes, or rather detailed changes. So there's a lot of functionality in there, pretty much the same as most sort of editors go, which enable you to send out that email, an HTML email to customers. So there are a few short code variables that we can include, quite a few actually, there's a lot of them. And one way to get to them is to click the mouse down there, click on this insertacourse.com field, choose the record type, so in this case course category, and then finally type in the name of a field that you want. Alternatively, click on the lightning bolt, that'll also give you a list. Once you've chosen it, click on insert, that'll close the widget and insert the variable in there. And that variable will be replaced as the email gets sent out. So it's just like a mail merge, basically. So this is one way of entering those short code variables. In fact, on the next page, I'm going to show you how you can actually enter in, you can use another widget, which stays up on the screen. So if you're creating quite a large document, you don't want the widget to come and go every time. You might want to keep the widget there, be able to copy across the fields as you need them. So let me just show you that. Let me just see where I've got that. Oh, here we go. I'm just zooming forward a bit just to see if I can find that reference I was talking about. Maybe it'll be in the next set of slides. Anyway, I'll mention it when I get to it. Okay, so file categories and PDFs to template. So adding the file categories and adding the PDFs. Now this is something that can be quite useful, particularly if you're sending an email to a student, which is meant to have the statement of attainment attached. You need to, of course, attach a PDF, but you might also want to attach a file. Maybe there's a student handbook available that you want to send out with the email. Maybe there's terms and conditions that are pretty standard and therefore not changing. They're a file that you upload into Course Sales and then you attach to the course master, and then you want to attach eventually to the email. To do that, you need to have attached a category, a file category to the email, because every file uploaded into Course Sales has a category associated with it. And you might divide those categories up by what happens at the start of a course and what happens after a course. So you could have those two categories if you want. You may have other categories to do with a registration category, for example. So all emails, all files that are related to registration would give them the category registration. You can sort of choose. Other ones might be international versus domestic. So different sort of RTOs will have different requirements when it comes to how they upload files and what categories they give them. So it's important you add the file category to the email, as I mentioned, but you've also got to link the file to the course master or the course date to make this work. Just linking a file category to an email is not going to be sufficient to attach the file. Of course, you need to have uploaded the file. That's pretty obvious under the publish tab, and then look in files. You've got to upload the file. You've got to give it the course category, give that course category to the email, and also link the file to the course master. I'm not going to go into details about how to do that, but you should be able to see the links at the bottom of the course master or the course date. Now, any files attached to the course date will override those. Actually, no, they override those files on the course master. Okay, so you upload to the course date, they override the files on the course master. So what this means is that files can be sent, they can vary by course master. So some courses might have different files. So if you want to attach a different student handbook, depending on the course people are attending, some people might be international students, some might be domestic. In that instance, you might want to have a different handbook for the different students. And this is a pretty good way of doing that. You can keep the file category the same. You don't have to change all the emails, but you just have to attach the different files to the different course masters. Attaching a PDF, that's really simple. You basically just link the PDF to the email template. The moment the PDF is linked to the email template, that's it. That PDF is going to be attached. Okay, so you can do that. That's pretty straightforward. Now, if you've got any questions so far, feel free to type them into the group chat. Feel free to put your hand up as well using the Zoom functionality there to be able to do that. Happy to take questions at any time. Okay, so here's an example of linking the file categories. So you can see we're going to click on this add file categories here, click there, up comes our widget. we click on the lightning bolt, select our file category, click on add, and then click on close. We can keep adding more if we want, but we've just added that one file category there. So that's pretty good. Nice and easy to do. And you basically do the same thing with a PDF. So you're linking a PDF, click on the add PDFs button, choose the PDF you want to link to. Again, pretty straightforward stuff. Click on add, bingo, you're done. Click on close, and make sure you save the content after you've made those changes. So make sure you save. This is editing an email, so you might want to save the email to make sure that that those links will remain after you've made that change. Okay, so I've got a quiz here. So let's see if we can do the quiz. So which of the following do you not specify on an email template? Let's find out who's been attentive and a sponge absorbing all the information. So use the chat to propose which of these you think you do not specify on an email template, and it might be one or more than one. So feel free to go for gold. Let's see what you've got to say. Type in the group chat, and we'll see what you've got to say. So we've got the email body there, we've got the email subject, the email address of the sender, the name of the file to attach to the email, or any PDF templates. Yeah, email address of sender. That's right. We do not specify those on the email template. That's dead right. We certainly don't do that. We do specify the email body. So well done, Stacey. We do specify the email subject. We don't specify the email address of the sender because that's done on the rule. So the process rule specifies the email address. Or the process rule actually specifies the role that will receive the email. And then the role is determined by what's on the course date or the course master, or maybe it's a predefined role like a student, for example. But there's something more. We don't specify the name of the file to attach to the email either. Okay, we don't specify the name of the file to attach to the email. Let's just make sure I've got it right. There we go. So name of the file to attach to the email, that's actually not specified there. We attach the file category as well. Okay, so not the name of the file, but file category. But we do specify the email, the PDF template to attach to the email. Here you go, another quiz. Let's see how we go here. Tell me what you think. See if you think this is true or false. When adding variables to an email, you can use either the fields button or to the right, or the plus button in the edit menu. Now, this was something I was meant to show you actually, so I don't know why for some reason I don't have that slide coming up. I think it might be in the PDF section. But basically, you do have an option. This is a true statement. You do have a fields button to the right, and you do have a little plus button in the edit menu. So if you've seen that, there's two ways. The fields button allows you to keep that widget there the whole time you're doing editing, and the other button goes away once you select a particular field variable to apply. Okay, another question. I think we've only got one more after this, so don't worry, not too many. If you need a new file category, where is that added? Now, I haven't actually covered this. File categories are specified, not surprisingly, in options. Okay, so they're specified in options. So let's just dive out of the slides here, and let me take you to my demonstration area. So the password wrong. There you go, all caps, doesn't help. Okay, so I'll just go in here and show you. Click on publish, click on options, and you can see here we've got file categories. File categories here, and we can click on the tree view of this option, and we can edit it, and you can see I've got general, but I can add additional file options by just clicking add after this node. And I can say after course. So I can add a file option called after course, a file category rather called after course. So this is where we add them. We add them under publish and options. I'll just go back there. Fix that up. Okay, so let's go back to the present. Okay, so when creating new records, which order would be most sensible? Now remember, when we want to add a field, we need to use the little picker. If we want to add a file category, of course, that has to exist. And then if we want to add a PDF, that has to exist as well. So which of these options would be the logical way of adding new records? And this is worth keeping in mind. It's the same thing when we add course masters. So when we add a course master, it can be logical to add things in a certain way. If you're pretty crafty, you can keep a whole lot of different tabs open at the same time and be creating things in one place and updating them in the other. And that allows you to actually do things in all at the same time effectively. But you're right. Yeah, that's right. We should do the field, then we should do the PDF template, because we might want to use the field in the PDF template. That's a good reason to do the field first. And then we add the file category. Now, the file category and PDF template, they're pretty much independent, so we don't have to worry about that. But then finally, we'd create the email. So that's the best order to do it in. So B is the correct answer. Well done, guys. So I've got an activity here that you can do. You may have done this already. Create an email using 2 variable fields and add a PDF to that email and add a file category.